It really seems like edgy content doesn't have a place on the internet anymore, since a lot of edgy creators have been getting struck down lately. And obviously the one I'm talking about specifically is Leafy is here. Now, not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, he was actually booted off of YouTube for harassing others. And of course, I don't condone the harassment of anyone. However, the videos that were used in order to indict him of this harassment case were some videos that weren't necessarily filled with harassment. He may have used Pokemon's face and her name in the title and the thumbnail of his videos, but he didn't really talk about her in the first place. But that was enough to get him struck off of the platform, especially since he, most of his career was just him bullying people, it seemed. However, though I'm not into this sort of edgy content and this sort of harassment based content, I do think that edgy content is sort of in a gray zone for me, because though I may not like it, or though others may not like it, I still think it does have a place on the internet. And though its viewer base may only be fedora tipping teenagers, I still think it deserves a place on the platform because there are still people that would watch it. Now, that doesn't mean all content should stay. Of course, if it is content that was created solely to target someone, or solely to target a group, or to indice violence upon someone or something, then yeah, I have a problem with it. I don't want to see that on the internet. But if it's just to bring up the talk about someone's attitude or someone's personality or something like that, then sure. But when they start talking about someone's look, aka ad hominem, instead of an actual gripping point, then that's where I kind of fall off. Because at that point, they don't really have a compelling argument that I can listen to, and it's more of just a stupid caveman or cavewoman talking about someone else's looks, and I don't give a shit about that. The only time that type of commentary is actually warranted is when someone deliberately wants to be roasted, or when you're roasting your own friends, or you're roasting the shit out of a horrible person, such as a pedophile or a rapist or something. So back to the topic of this video, it looks like Leafy was also banned off of Twitch now. He's only been on Twitch for a couple of weeks, and already he's banned completely off the platform. He has enacted the Twitch Speedrun, the first ever of its kind, it seems. Very quick to be booted off. And I was really curious as to why he got banned once I heard of it. It couldn't be that bad, right? But, reminder, this is Leafy without a filter on. He's live this time. He can't fully process his thoughts and put it into a video. He is just going to be spouting things out, especially since his content on Twitch was more of a talk show than anything, just like Hassan, who has made mistakes in the past as well. So I went a little further to investigate what sort of things he said, and thus I stopped by on Reddit. And I know it's Reddit, so I take everything I say here with a grain of salt, as most users on this platform tend to only say certain things just to farm karma. So I went onto a thread of why Leafy was banned, and the first top comment that I saw was by the user of Inside that says, jumps on platform after being booted from YouTube due to toxicity, immediately starts talking shit on Twitch partners, making veiled threats, sprinkles a racial slur on top for good measure. Dude needs to chill. Now that's a lot to chew on, because first off, talking shit on Twitch partners, I don't know who exactly he was talking shit on, but I know for a fact that on his last stream, his title had said, "Pokemon, please don't ban me," and that makes me think that he was probably talking smack on more than likely Pokemon and maybe her friends or her circle of friends or people backing her up or something. And whatever, I mean, that happens all the time on Twitch. People talk smack on each other. That's why you get all these live stream fail clips and all this controversy that goes on around Twitch. That happens all the time. So that didn't seem like too much of a problem for me, of course, unless, again, if he was inciting violence against her, but I don't think he was. However, the next comment that this person had said, making veiled threats, really sparked my interest, because I was really curious as to what that meant. And as I scrolled through this thread, it seemed that he was making threats against the BLM protesters, and he was talking about shooting them with his guns and stuff like that. Again, I don't know how true that is, because this is Reddit after all, but if he was saying those things, then holy shit, no wonder he got banned instantly. That's insane. You should never talk about that sort of stuff on Twitch, especially since you're live. Because you're live, Twitch is going to make a decision much quicker than they would on YouTube. So you really have to be conscious of what you're saying on that platform. Don't be a fucking idiot saying that sort of stuff. If he really felt that way, then holy shit, yeah, get him off of the platform. And then the last part of that comment says that he had said a racial slur, and the slur that they were talking about was the N-word, but he didn't say it with the hard R. He said it with the A at the end. And that one's kind of a gray area for me too, because there's a lot of content creators out there that say that word but don't get punished. Now, is it because of the color of their skin? Probably, and I don't really agree with that sort of thing. If one person can say it, I think others should be able to say it. Of course, don't say it in a way that it is a slur, but in a way that normal people say it, I think it's fine. But of course, that's a whole other topic, and I'm not a political channel, so go find that somewhere else. And all the while saying all this crap, he was saying that he was just kidding at the end of it. Every time he said some sort of insult or he said something wrong, he would say, "Oh, I'm just kidding though, guys. I'm just kidding." Now that is some middle school mentality right there. If someone had walked up to me and started calling me a fat piece of shit, rubbed some gravy on my tummy, started rubbing me down and said, "I'll see you later tonight, baby," but I was just kidding, I would know that they're not kidding. They did all that, they said all that, they ain't kidding. You can't just slap a "just kidding" on the end of that. Come on now.
Hello, I'll see you later tonight, baby. Love you.
So of course, Leafy responded to this back on his Twitter with,
"What the fuck, Bezos? Just when I was having fun at Twitch support. Is there any appealing this? This was my first offense, bro. LMFAO."
And it shows a picture of the report that he was stricken with. "Based on a review of your activity or content, we have issued a community guideline strike on your account. As a result, your access to Twitch services is restricted. Reason: engaging in hateful conduct and threats of violence against a person or group of people, where the violation occurred on a stream or VOD."
Thought that there would be a warning first or something. I mean, it was obvious I was pushing it, but still was being somewhat mindful of TOS.
Which then Twitch did make a statement, and I got this statement off of @Slasher on Twitter, and it says, "The safety of our community is our top priority, and we reserve the right to suspend any account for conduct that violates our rules or that we determine to be inappropriate, harmful, or puts our community at risk." So it looks like Twitch just took the opportunity to strike him off the platform, and that's another thing that I wanted to speak about. Your online presence sets a precedent. Due to Leafy having a troublesome past, that seems to have probably caught up to him now, and it seems like everywhere he goes, that past is always going to haunt him. So I know when Leafy hopped onto Twitch for the first time, they already knew of his previous antics and they were keeping a close eye on him. And because of all the things that Leafy was saying during the stream and people reporting him, they just decided to cut him out entirely. They weren't even going to take a chance with him. And that sets a really powerful message, because that means that everyone should always be watching what they're saying on the internet, because of course anything that you place on the internet will stay on there forever. Did Leafy deserve it? If all those things that he was saying was true, then yeah, he absolutely deserved it. He was being a little too edgy this time. And yeah, again, edgy content is fine, but when you start indicting violence against others, that's when it is no longer okay. That's when you're traveling into a darker territory. So what does this mean for Leafy's career? Well, it looks like he'll have to find another platform, and it seems the platform of his choosing this time around is going to be a new up-and-comer called Storyfire. And on Storyfire, it does seem that more and more YouTubers are starting to migrate over there, or at least put their content on there just in case, because they are way more lenient on Storyfire. But that is more than likely due to the size of Storyfire. Storyfire is a small content sharing website that is nowhere near the size of YouTube. And anything that gets to the size of YouTube is more than likely going to have higher restrictions placed upon it. That's why I wasn't really sure what his intentions were when he hopped onto Twitch, because it was going to be the same thing. Twitch is huge. It's a giant multi-billion-dollar company. And not only that, it's live. So people get struck down much quicker because it is live. Though I don't know how big of a threat Leafy would have been to the giant multi-billion-dollar company. I'm sure they could have let it slide, but they just weren't taking any chances, it seems. More than likely, they did this for their own sponsors. Twitch didn't want to show that they had this sort of content on their viewer base, and of course they scrapped it. But that does lead more questions as to who they are specifically watching. And again, that president thing, it does play a part here, because more than likely they were watching him like a hawk to make sure that he wasn't saying anything fucking stupid. And he fucked up. So goodbye, Leafy. But there are multiple channels on Twitch that do just have script kiddies uploading porn and shit on there, and those don't get taken down as fast. But again, that's because they weren't having a specific eye placed upon those, and that's probably why those go on for so long. But in terms of other media such as giant YouTubers and giant Twitch streamers, yeah, they're gonna have a closer eye placed upon them. So I'm not sure why people are so freaked out about this. Of course, I don't like censorship. I hate censorship. But again, when it has to do with something indicting violence upon people, then it's not okay. Everything has a gray area, guys, but when you're directly saying something to a certain group of people, then obviously it's no joke. Seems you made it to the end of this video, so like this video and subscribe if you're new for more content. Don't forget to share it to your friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.